What's up, guys? This is Fico, and I've come back again late from my friend Noah and Ann's house. It seems to be a tradition every time I leave the movies. I'm blowing over to their house, but this time I'm going to keep it a bit shorter because this is a very awesome review that I've got for you guys here today, and this is for an awesome movie. And this, you could say it's amazing. It's the Amazing Spider-Man. It's a movie that stars Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, and aka Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy, which is played by Emma Stone, and Lizard. It's a dead giveaway. Y'all know it's the Lizard. All you have to do is just see the trailers. But he's Dr. Kurt Connors is played by Rhys Ifans, and it's directed by Mark Webb, which I'm looking up right now just to see. He has done 500 Days of Summer as a director. He also directed wow, all he did was well, promotional stuff and stuff basically for, you know, for music. But this is, to me, may actually be Mark Webb's opus, because this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best Spider-Man movie of all the Spider-Man movies. I mean, it got everything down so perfectly, in my opinion. And you know, I mean, it did start out a bit at first, a bit slow, but you know what? The build-up was worth it, because you're given this chance to see just truly how human Peter Parker is. And as he becomes Spider-Man, I mean, gets his powers and he learns how to become Spider-Man, you see he's a real person. I mean, you see he's frustrated, he gets mad, he's shy, he's awkward, he doesn't like seeing other people get hurt, but he's weak himself. So he's very normal, and very kind of sort of under the radar. Emma Stone, who plays Gwen Stacy, is also in Peter's school, and well, it's almost sort of like love. You would call it love at first sight. At first, it's sort of like he's like the you know, the dweeb, and Emma Gwen Stacy, she's like the popular chick, and well, you know, they're sort of not seeing each other so far. But then the events that transpire, if you're familiar with the story or with the movies, he has a tragedy in his life. And Spider-Man is then Peter Parker, who is not yet Spider-Man, is out to get vengeance. And this is where he learns the all-time great saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's where he takes his powers, he takes himself, and he decides to use his powers for good, not to seek vengeance, but to seek out to help people when they can't get help. Of course, he's labeled a vigilante by the cops, and I mean, it's wow, it's a really good movie. I mean, I mean, they did so many things right in this movie that even Spider-Man 2, in my opinion, comes short of what they did. The comparisons are awesome. I mean, Gwen Stacy didn't do much in the first three Spider-Man movies because she was only in the third one, and she was hardly doing anything in it at all. And of course, the comparison of Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield nailed Peter. I mean, a lot of people were saying, oh, that Peter Parker, he's emo, and he's a shy guy, he's a rebel, he's a skateboarding emo loner dude, you know. It's like, but when you realize the whole things that he's been through, you know, he's sort of like this secluded guy who has been sort of just in himself, just this pent up like frustration and aggression, and then it just when things start like tumbling out of control after he gets his powers. You know, the stuff that happens to his family. I mean, these are things that, you know, in this movie feel a lot realer than they did in the previous movies, because in the previous movies they just wanted to do Spider-Man movies. And of course, because they you know, they were just trying to go like, oh, this is Peter Parker, this is Spider-Man, this is the villain, the end. This is Peter Parker, and then they kept on doing it over and over and over, and you know, they were fun movies to watch. But in my opinion, this is where it gets the best. I mean, the villain, which was, it's probably, in my opinion, the best of all the villains, because the villain, you get something that you don't get from the other villains. I mean, from Norman Osborn, Otto Octavius, the Sandman, and Venom. You don't get a lot of exposure. You don't get a lot of time to realize how real this character is, and you know, and when things start to work and then don't work, and then he's like the Lizard and then he's not, and then things start spiraling out of control, and in the end it's just this one incredibly amazing movie. I mean, the special effects are amazing, and the way that he portrayed the Spider-Man was portrayed, it seems to be more true to to Spider-Man. I mean, he's like Spider-Man. He's like cocky, you know, little like creep. You know, like he's like this guy. He's like, he knows he's got the powers, and the villains just don't stand a chance. He just messes with them, and it's so funny when you see him trying to, like, you know, do these like one-liners, and he's just like, yeah, sure. You know, like, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, you're not going to be able to do it. Oh, no. Well, it's just, you're not going to be able to beat him, like, at all. It's like trying to squirm away from the cops, because I think he believes that, you know, like, as Spider-Man, he's just trying to do the right thing, and he's getting chastised for it because he's breaking the law, quote unquote. But I mean, most of these things, you see them spread out throughout the movies and the lore, but here, they get it all right. I mean, Emma Stone, she did a really good job as Gwen Stacy, because you know that Gwen Stacy is Peter Parker's true love interest, and if you feel it, you just feel it when the connection, when they start to get to, you know, get to know each other. And I mean, there was these cool moments where they would flip into a first-person view, like you see Spider-Man just like flipping around, and you see from his point of view. I mean, those shots were amazing. I mean, the cinematography. I mean, the sound effects were really great as well. The music. I mean, this movie just fell all good into place. Mark Webb, I mean, where have you been? Can you do more movies like this? I mean, and of course you got the Stan Lee appearance. You gotta have the Stan Lee appearance, but this is probably the best Stan Lee cameo. I will not say what it is, but boy, you guys have to go see this movie. Now, I know that you guys are probably thinking, is there a movie that I don't like? Well, I'm sorry, but you know, I mean, this summer has been just so great with movies, and the summer is just going to keep on going. And this movie is the start of July, and the Blockbusters has just already debuted, and it debuted at a good time, of right before, you know, July 4th. And it was a success, and I loved Spider-Man. Now, this may be actually right up there with the Avengers, and I'll tell you why. Because Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes. Not just Marvel, overall. Just overall, Spider-Man is like one of my favorite heroes, and the fact that he was portrayed so perfectly, even down to the part where he's using web cartridges. If you've read the comics, he uses web cartridges as his web shooters. He doesn't produce his own, like, web. You know, he just, like, and that is truly amazing how they've represented every little thing that Spider-Man can do as he's developing his powers, as he now becomes full-fledged Spider-Man, and it is completely, I'm impressed. This movie gets a definitive 5 out of 5 in my book. This because it did just everything right. I found it really hard to find any flaws because everybody that was picked to play the roles that we were familiar with and we weren't familiar with were just really good. I mean, I can't find any faults. I really don't. I enjoyed this movie. I had expectations. I felt that it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be great. I mean, so yeah, I am giving Spider-Man a 5 out of 5. Sue me. That's what I feel this movie deserves. And I am still watching a bunch of movies, so there is a chance that I will find one that will not give me that one. I guess it's just because I like movies, and this is my impression. I'm not just reviewing them. These are just my impressions. So if you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, fine, whatever. I'll try to see if I can find something that I entertain you guys with to give my opinions with. So with that, it concludes my impressions with Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. It's already out. I debuted just yesterday, and today's July the 4th, so happy 4th of July. Go see The Amazing Spider-Man in the evenings after you stuff your faces with barbecue. And if you have any comments about the movie, without giving up spoilers, of course, leave them down below. And if you have any suggestions about what movies that are going to be debuting this week, so I should watch, if you've already heard good things about them. And what do you guys think? Is this the best Spider-Man movie of all the others? Does this blow away the first origin story of Spider-Man? I think it did. But if you guys have any opinions, I mean, leave them here as well. I mean, do you think this movie is better than the other Spider-Man movies? Was there something in the Spider-Man movies that was done better than this movie? I personally think not. This one is the best Spider-Man movie. Go watch it. And I hope that you guys take this in good hearts, because I mean, if you guys love Spider-Man, this is the movie to watch. If you guys don't like Spider-Man, this is still a great movie to watch. And well, what do you got to lose? I mean, you're gonna enjoy this movie. There's no way you're not going to be able to enjoy this movie. This is a fun movie to watch, and I mean, although it does start a bit slow, but it's understandable when it starts to get to the next parts. But yeah, you guys leave any comments, positive, negative comments about about this video, and if you guys have anything to say about The Amazing Spider-Man, if you guys watch it, leave the comments below as well. So this has been another one of these late night reviews of mine. So my name is Fico, and I want to get myself some web shooters.